Hey guys, welcome to the Night Rider Historians. We've got yet another video on this guy right here, the trailer and the tractor. So you may have seen in a previous video that we started the sandblasting process. Well, since then, the sandblasting process is complete, and I want to show you a couple things that we found once all the paint was off. We're also going to show you what we've done on the inside. We've put a few more of the interior panels up. It's really starting to kind of come together. And also some other plans for the rear end. And we got the exhaust on the GMC General, brand new exhaust, which was a feat in and of itself. So we'll kind of go over that. But first, if you are not subscribed to this channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below right now. As you can see, if you're watching this when it first comes out, we are super close to 100,000 subscribers, 100,000 Night Rider fans. It's just unbelievable. So I'd really appreciate it if you did your civic duty, click that subscribe button. And also, you know, we're still working on this trailer, and as you can see, it still has a ways to go. And all of this takes tons of time, tons of money. If you're interested in supporting us, there's a GoFundMe link down below, and also these awesome semi-restoration shirts. There's also a link down below to our store where you can buy these shirts and other Night Rider Historians apparel. Okay, enough of that. Let's go ahead and show you what we've done with the Screen Used Flag Semi. Do you want to help with the Semi's restoration? Donate now to the Semi Restoration GoFundMe initiative or buy one of our awesome Semi Restoration Team shirts. Links are in the video description below. All right, so the Semi, the tractor. It's, you know, I'm ashamed to say that there hasn't been too many updates on the tractor since our last update. But I don't know if I showed this ever in a previous video, but we got the mud flaps on. Those are original hangers that were still on the frame. So we got those whenever we rebuilt the frame, we got those put back on, and then we bought the hanger, the mud flap and everything. So I think those turned out pretty nice. All right, so here is the new exhaust. Look at that. Now we don't have the heat shield on the muffler yet. We have it, but the straps that go around it, one of the straps, the threads are stripped, so we have to do some work there before we can put that back up. But for those of you who might remember, this pipe down here was in terrible, terrible shape. It was original. The whole stack was original to the show. But this pipe, I mean, there were just tons of holes underneath here. It was in terrible shape. Originally, the plan was, well, we'll just replace that pipe, keep the original muffler. But whenever we took all this apart and we looked inside the original muffler, it was pretty rough. It was in really, really bad shape. And by the way, we know it was the original exhaust because, and we talked about this in a previous video, it still had some of the red paint on it from when the tractor was painted red in 1985 for a TV movie. So we decided, well, we should probably just replace all this, and we got the correct 36-inch straight exhaust pipe on the top with the rain cap or the rain flapper. So this pipe was quite a challenge because no one makes this pipe, and as you can see, it's you know, it's got a number of curves to it. It's a straight piece and then it curves and it's got to come up this way. So we had to have this custom made. And our friend Danny worked with someone, I forget, was it in Wisconsin? It was out west somewhere from where we're at, had the pipe recreated, and we got it here. It didn't quite fit, so our other friend Kevin Johnson, who you've seen here a couple times on the channel, took the pipe, took it up to a local exhaust shop and had them tweak it just a little bit, so now it's perfect, absolutely perfect. So we got all that in. You can see the pipe under there, it goes right there, and then it goes to a little curved elbow, and then connects to the engine. So really happy with how that turned out. Just have to get, like I said, the heat shield on there, and then we'll be good to go. Let me pop the engine or the hood, and I'll show you the other end of that pipe for those of you who are interested. So we'll just go ahead and set this up over here. Put you down right there. I've gotten pretty good at opening that hood. All right, so we'll bring you in here, and you can see there's the pipe, and then this is a flexible piece. The original flexible piece was in pretty bad shape, so we found an exact replacement of that. So this is all replacement, and then it's connected back up. There's the turbo and the rest of the exhaust system, so we're in good shape there. Still have to replace all the fluids. We want to change out all of these coolant hoses. We have the hoses thanks to a generous donor on our channel, so we still have to do that. But other than that, oh, and we still have to replace the front tires. We have the tires, you have to get them mounted to the rims and get those replaced. But once that's done, the truck is completely mechanically done and ready to be on the road, which is awesome. So really it's just the sleeper, the paint. The sleeper is coming along slowly, very slowly, but we're definitely making progress there. So, you know, hopefully before too long, we'll actually have a sleeper we can place right there, which is really, really gonna make this thing pop. All right, I wanna take a moment and give a shout out to our latest Patreon flag agent supporters. So what is a Patreon supporter? Well, we have a community of fans who have come together to support us through Patreon. And through Patreon, you get early access to all of our videos. You get exclusive behind the scenes photos and videos that we never publish publicly, and who knows what else. So definitely, if you're interested, you don't want to miss it. It's really, really cool. There's a link down in the description below and one up in the corner of this video right now. Now there's 4 tiers of support, and our flag agents are our top tier supporters. As a flag agent, you get your name, you get a shout out in a video, which we'll do here in a second. And if you have any Knight Rider related questions for us, we'll answer them here in a video. So without further ado, let's go over our latest Patreon flag agents. We've got Greg Woody. Greg, thank you so much for supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. We also have Mark Enos. Mark, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And finally, John Ray. John, I've known your name for a long time. You've been around, so it's so great that you're here supporting us. We actually don't, for the first time, we don't have any flag agent questions to address in this video. So for those of you flag agents that are watching, and there's quite a few of you at this point, you need to get your Knight Rider questions in so we can answer them here, right? So again, if you're interested in joining our Patreon community, there's a link down below, and we would be happy to have you there. All right, so next up, let's go over the trailer. Now, you've seen the trailer partially sandblasted, but I don't think you've seen it fully sandblasted. So let's kind of go over it all. Here it is. Looks so much better than chipping white paint, doesn't it? I think I mentioned this last time. I had to go in, all the steel parts I had to go in prime. So we got all that taken care of, so none of that rusts. Got these were the outlets were post Knight Rider. So we got plugs made and we got those all reinstalled. Still have to smooth out the front side and before it gets painted, but there's still a few other little holes that we've got to work through. There's holes where they had one of the mounts for the canopy that they put on the trailer when it was in its race days, its drag racing hauler days. But you can see all this body filler here, and everywhere there's body filler, there's these incorrect steel rivets. These are factory rivets. These are incorrect steel. So you can see this whole area was damaged right here, and it necessitated replacing all of those rivets, these ones too. Now the question is, was this damaged during the Night Rider days or after? I think this was damaged during the Night Rider days. I think all of this was, and I'll explain why in a moment. But so we've started to fill in all the holes here. If you remember when we got the trailer, there was skirting around the tires. So those were holes that they put in for the skirting. So that's aluminum resin filler. We got all that. We still have to sand it down and smooth it out. But coming along. So back here, I showed you all of this before. Nothing's changed here. That header panel, I don't know if you can see it. It's actually bowed out a little bit. So we've got our guy coming next week. He's gonna use some heat and a come along and get that straightened out. So that way, whenever we go to build the ramp, it can close and be flush with the jamb of the opening. Right now it would stick out. So I don't even know if that's gonna show here. Yeah, I think you can see how bowed out that header is. And that happened, we think that happened whenever they were cutting out all of the battery boxes, or the battery trays and the winch trays up there. Just the heat and hitting it bowed that out. So not a big deal. We'll get that taken care of. So over here, this is kind of all new to you guys. We didn't show this side. This side's all stripped. And if you look right here, look, there's more damage. Look at all that body filler. We had them leave when they sandblasted. I didn't have them sandblast this body filler here. We may still take this out. We'll probably still take this out. But the question is, are we gonna put new body filler in, or are we gonna leave the dents? I watched the show, obviously I've watched the show, but looking specifically in these areas for dents on the show to see if they were screen use dents. And so far I haven't been able to see these. So if we can't see them in the show, we're gonna assume that it happened after the show, and then we're gonna keep those smooth. But you see, we've got those incorrect rivets here and here as well. But what I really wanted to show you, and what to me, which was kind of the most exciting thing, and hopefully you can see it right there. Right there. You see that big dent right there? So I believe I talked about this in our last video, but in the last video, there was still body filler covering that dent. But that dent you can see clear as day in the wrong crowd. And that's all part of the damage here and in the back. Whenever the trailer back, when it was used on the show, the story goes, it was, they ran into a canopy on the Universal Studios lot, and that's what caused these dents. And you can see these dents early in the show, like the first season. So this happened a long time ago. So I had the sandblasters remove all the body filler up there to expose the dent. And we're gonna keep that dent there, believe it or not. That's part of the trailer's history, and that's its battle scars from filming. So we wanna leave that exposed, we wanna leave that dent in, so you can say, look, there's the dent, there it was on the show. All right, now the reason I think that maybe some of this damage and this body filler is all from the show, because before we blasted off the body filler up there, the filler up there matched exactly the filler down here. I mean, it was the same color filler. The replacement rivets up there, the steel rivets, now I know these are common rivets, but they're the same ones down here. So I'm thinking whoever did the repair up there when that dent was hit may have repaired all this stuff. I don't know. Got some more research to do on that. But yeah, they got the belly boxes sandblasted. So now we've got to get these holes filled in so we can get the correct quarter turn latches on there. But forward progress is being made. I really need to get this trailer moved a little bit. It's been sitting right in this spot for over a year. I don't want it to sit on that. Maybe next time Danny's here, we'll hook up the tractor, move this forward a little bit so it ceases sinking into the ground there. But let's take you inside and I'll show you some of the updates we've done on the inside. All right, here we go. So here we are on the inside. I think I showed that, didn't I? How I put the rest of that track up there? I can't remember if I showed that in a previous video or not. I did that a while ago, but for those of you who didn't see it, you know, that part of the track was still up there. That's original. And there was evidence in these supports, these horizontal supports, that the track went as far as there. So found the exact stuff, got it mounted. So now we've got the track completely back into where it was. Yeah, not too much up here. This is kind of turning into a catch-all for all the parts. There's the heat shield for the semi we were just talking about. But, and then the original exhaust from the General. And, you know, you can just see, hopefully you can see, I know it's dark in here, but how terrible that is. And then there's the original muffler somewhere on here. Yeah, right here. There's the original red paint from 1985 Steel Color Man movie, which is really cool. So I'll have to save that, do something fun with that, I think. All right, so let's show you, if I can navigate my way through here. There's the tires for the front of the General, but here's what I wanted to show you. So I've been busy off camera getting all of this insulated, still working over here. And then I've started to attach the replacement plywood pieces. Now, these are all loose right now. I've only got the tops in on pretty much all of these because I'm out of the tappets. These are the tappets right here, which are the same type that they used in 1978. So had to order some more, had just enough to kind of do the top there. So once those come in, we'll get all those secured. Got to add in the plywood at the bottom there to finish it off. Honestly, we don't have to be too exact here because this is all going to be covered up, right? We're going to have the corrugated metal panels with the cross braces that's going to cover all of this down here. We're going to have the drop ceiling in right here, and then all of this will be in the shadows. You're not going to see any of this. I'll probably still paint this black, at least the top I'll paint black. The rest of it will kind of be hidden. But yeah, so really once we get all of this done here, got to go buy some more insulation. We'll get all the wood replaced here. Got to do all of the insulation and wood way in the front of the trailer as well. But then really once that's done, honestly, the next part is probably talking about getting the drop ceiling put in here. Got to figure out how to do that. I'm thinking we're going to put some metal, some horizontal metal steel, steel tube welded in to these vertical supports on each side, and then weld cross members in. And that's gonna, because we want something, obviously very, very sturdy. The last thing you want is to be hauling KITT in here and have the roof fall down on you. That would ruin your day. So the other thing that I did is, so this roof had, I don't know, half a dozen, probably more, probably close to a dozen little pinholes in it. And every time it rained, I would find little puddles in here. Nothing major, but still, now that I'm putting wood up and starting to work on the interior, the last thing I wanted is for all this to get wet in here. So I did go through and I got all those holes patched on the underside. So the roof is now all ready. We're gonna get it sealed on the outside here some point this summer, whenever we can get Eric back here to climb up on the roof and assist. So don't know what those are right there. There's some kind of a, looks like some kind of a patch job right there. That's interesting. But yeah, so coming along. And this is the exciting part, when you start to rebuild and you can start to see, you know, it coming back to life. So I think I probably will just paint these all black, because I think it's going to look really cool if this whole back end is all black. So, and we're going to be insulated back here. Actually, we're going to be insulated in the whole trailer, so it'll you know, certainly help with cooling and heating, especially it's a black trailer. So these panels, these are all original from 1978. Now, when the trailer came from Dorsey, they never had insulation behind it, but a previous owner had blown in insulation placed behind all of this whole back area. So we're just leaving all this alone. This is all good. It's all insulated. It's not worth the huge headache to remove all these panels and change out that insulation. So still got to remove some of those remaining pieces from the former drop ceiling that was in here, the tilt deck. But there you go. It's coming along. I think I need to do a little cleanup in here. It's starting to get difficult to walk around. But there's your update on the semi, making good progress. So we're back here inside the semi. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about our semi donor wall plaque opportunity for you. Now, we've talked about this a number of times, specifically in our semi restoration videos. About, has it been a year? It's been a long time. Yeah, probably close to a year. We announced that we were giving you an opportunity to be a part of the restoration and get your name on a plaque that we're gonna have mounted somewhere in the trailer whenever it's all completed. Now, we've been overwhelmed by the response. That's actually an understatement. It has been amazing how many of you have donated to become part of this restoration. To restore a trailer and tractor to look like it did in 1986, with drop ceiling, with the hydraulic, or I'm sorry, the winch operated rear door, to put the office set in here. Tons of research, tons of time, tons of money. But you guys have come through. We've had over 300 people donate to have their name on the wall. So we're gonna keep this opportunity open for a while we continue to work on the trailer. But if you're interested, for a $100 donation, you can have your name on the official semi-donor wall plaque. Now, in previous videos, I had started a list, actually it's right about over there. I had a list where I started to write the names. Well, that quickly became pretty burdensome to be able to have to write all these names on camera. So, and we're in the process of finishing these panels. So I had to pull that off. But what I wanted to do is show you first, here are our latest donors since the last time we did a video. So these folks have each donated $100 to the restoration, and their name will be on this engraved plaque we're going to get done. I don't know exactly what it's gonna look like, but it's gonna be pretty awesome. At this point, it's gonna be pretty big, right? We're at 300 names and climbing. So we're gonna have some engraved plaque with your name on it, and it's gonna be mounted somewhere inside the trailer. We haven't figured all those details out yet. But if you're interested in being a part of that, you can donate your $100 by PayPaling it to nightridersemi@gmail.com. We also have options for Venmo. We can do check, money order, different things like that. Also, if you have any questions about this donation or the process, or you need some other way to contribute, email us, nightridersemi@gmail.com. So we would love for you to be a part of this awesome, amazing, once-in-a-lifetime project. Alrighty, folks, that's the end of the updates on the trailer for today. So you can see we're making progress. Still have a long way to go, but I'm glad you're on this journey with me. Again, please subscribe, please like this video, and share it with your friends. They'll certainly appreciate it. I will too. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.